Nancy was a dedicated and fierce champion of affordable and workforce housing, and she was instrumental in the creation, development, and implementation of the Encore.
Premiumbeat.com.
Endless energy, passion, and drive to do the right thing. These are just a few that defined our friend and colleague, Nancy Crown. She was a remarkable individual who successfully balanced the family, work, and community. Her children always came first and were the loves of her life. They were the passion that drove Nancy. At work, Nancy was known for her integrity and ability to move projects forward. She was respected and admired by all.
Premiumbeat.com.
You know, the first time I met Nancy, you could tell she's the kind of a person, let's get it done. No nonsense, let's get it done. We sit there and we go back and forth, and she said, we'll get it done.
Premiumbeat.com.
Often we had to compromise with her though. Because, you know, once Nancy made up her mind on something, she made up her mind, that was it. But she was willing to compromise. The thing I liked about Nancy was that she was concerned about people. You know, sometimes banks are concerned about regulations. Nancy was concerned about getting the job done and doing right by the people that she was there to serve. That was important to us. That's why we bonded so well. We saw Nancy as a friend of the Housing Authority, as a part of the family. Nancy was just a great human being. I miss her, to be quite honest with you. The conversations we used to have, she'd call me on the phone sometime and say, look, we can't do it like that, but we can do it like this. Okay, Nancy. And because, you know, Nancy could wear you down after a while. She could really wear you down. But the thing I liked about her is that she was so sincere and she was so committed to getting a job done. We all miss Nancy. That's one of the reasons we wanted to do this, be a part of this. We think that she really embellishes the idea of Encore. She's the kind of a person that you always want to have on your team. Because not only is she oriented toward the technical side, she does the human side too. That was important to us. Nancy will miss her, but this will always be a memorial for Nancy. As long as we're here at this Housing Authority, this will be here. And we can always recognize and see this. And every time we see the Crown Theater, we'll think about Nancy.
She's one of the people that, there's a phrase that I've used a lot in business. She had what I refer to as a deep sense of personal responsibility. When we would do something, and sometimes I'd say why or what is it, she just felt ultimately a responsibility to what everybody else talked about, and that was kind of the compass that she came at it through, and I liked that.
You know, you hear in sports a lot about the player that makes everybody better, and that was Nancy's role on our team. She made me a lot better as a person, you know, as a developer, as, you know, as a friend. She was always there to help build me up.
It's interesting that we started today with the Pledge of Allegiance. When I was putting my notes together before I had seen the program, I wrote down Pledge of Allegiance. And the reason is this: the final line of the Pledge of Allegiance is all about what Nancy Crown stood for. Liberty, freedom. Freedom to live, freedom to be a community, freedom. And justice for all. Nancy Crown was all about justice and equality for all. I think Nancy could, in a way, see the future. In her decision to move to Charlotte, I think she could see her next steps in life. I think she could see herself at work in her new job. I think she could feel herself in her new home, settled into the open arms of Charlotte. I believe she could envision the kids she would someday bring into this world to nurture and love with all of her optimism and her determination. That was our Nancy.
Premiumbeat.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Susan Crown, and also with us is my sister Mary, my sister Jane, and Mary's husband William. On behalf of Molly and Sam, Nancy's children, and the entire Crown family, we would like to thank the Tampa Housing Authority and Bank of America for the lovely honor of naming this Tempo Outdoor Theater for Nancy. Nancy walked the walk and talked the talk of fairness and equality, as anyone who knew her would attest. She knew how to bring people and ideals together, and she knew what was fair and what was good. Tempo at Encore is a prime example of this. Nancy truly believed everyone counted, regardless of who they were or what they did, regardless of their resume or title, regardless of where they lived. That belief had such a strong influence in both her personal and professional life, and will now be a part of her legacy. Thank you.
Premiumbeat.com.
Having a legacy that's embodied in a building with so many different residents, and in a community where people can remember that it wasn't once a cheerful and welcoming place, and to know that that's going to be standing for years and years and have an ongoing impact is, that's what having a living legacy really is.
Nancy was really a behind-the-scenes person. She would not necessarily want to be recognized and named for this work. She would be delighted and thrilled that the aspect of community and something that would include all the residents in this community would be the most important piece. She'd be pleased with that.
As nice as it is to have everybody saying thank you to Nancy for what she contributed, her real emphasis would be on saying thank you to all the other people